Tell us your name. Please describe yourself and what role you play in the family unit.
My name is Tonya Johnson. Describing myself, I am the diva. I am extremely spoiled, very high maintenance, very much in love, very much in love. I'm a nurturer. I'm very giving, great listener, advisor. I'm all of that in a cup of tea. I'm so much of that. Do you need to know my occupation as well?
They just said describe yourself.
Describe myself.
And what role you play in the family unit.
Okay, I did that.
How would you describe your family?
Wow. How would I describe my family? We can be a little crazy sometimes. I think we have a lot of day and night because I'm very outspoken. My daughter is extremely shy at times, but she would talk our head off. My baby, Trey, is very intelligent, school teacher, so we kind of like a night and day type couple. So we have a mixture going on here. We kind of a little crazy bunch.
What do you do? What is your occupation?
Well, what I do, one thing is I own my own business called Golden Perfection. I'm a freelance makeup artist. Prior to that, I've been in the hair industry for over 20 years. I retired from doing hair and just branched out into the makeup division of it. However, I am in corporate America now. I'm a merchandiser for a company. I used to work for a Fortune 500 company until they had the humongous layoff a few years ago. And I actually just started back working this January. So I'm actually back in my field. But I don't plan to be in corporate America forever because I actually expect to excel my Golden Perfection business and pretty much launch that as far as I can.
Is your current community receptive to gay culture?
My current community is very accepting to gay culture because I'm in Atlanta. And we are one of the probably gay meccas here in the United States, I believe, outside of the other few states I've visited. But I do think Atlanta is very receptive of gay community.
Is there a gay outlet or sense of acceptance?
Yes, there's a gay outlet, and it's very much of a sense of acceptance. We have many different venues and events that goes on here in Atlanta on a weekly basis. So it's always something to do in the gay community. You would never be bored coming to Atlanta, being part of the gay community, ever.
What are your relationships like with each of your fellow family members?
Well, I'll start with my daughter first. I think we're building that bond that I've always longed for as it relates to the mother and daughter relationship, even though she's giving off this new stud look. I think we're building that mother-daughter relationship that I've always wanted, that closeness that her and I have now that we didn't have. And I think it just comes from her being her own person. She's always been kind of standoffish with anybody in general, not just me. And I'm really extremely close to my mom, and I always wanted that for me and my daughter. I have a son also. However, he doesn't live here. He lives in Seattle with his wife and kids. He's ex-military. So it's really just my daughter here, which one of my children is not here and one is here. So the one that's left here, I'm trying to get my this last year of her being in high school, that really close-knit mother-daughterly bond that I've been longing for. And as it relates to Trey, which is my partner, my fiance, because we are getting married next year, June 23rd, 2012. And it's going to be a pretty semi-big wedding. We have a very, very good relationship. He's like my best friend. I say he because that's the image my baby portrays. I never say she. He gives me, everything that I want and need in a partner. He's my best friend. He's a listener. He definitely takes care of me like a queen. Treats me all the ways I've been wanting to be treated, during my relationship life in the gay lesbian aspect of everything. So as far as Trey's concerned, that's really just my best friend, and I love my baby to death.
What is a stress in your daily life?
A stress in my daily life will always be the same stress, which is I just strive and I want to excel in life financially. And I'm always trying to reach for the stars, whatever that may be. And I'm always trying to push me and my partner to excel in our careers because I know we're destined for greatness. We're both intelligent individuals. We both have we're very strong minded and we know what we want. So I'm actually the push behind our family, financial wise, because I do know I want us to grow and excel and have the finer things in life.
What are the obstacles in your family?
Same thing. Obstacles are financial gain. Financial gain are the obstacles in our family. I like I said earlier in the interview that I'm very high maintenance and I do like the finer things. I'm not materialistic though. I just like nice things. And in order to get those nice things, it takes a nice bank account. And with that being said, I will go through any means necessary to reach that goal of being an entrepreneur to be successful in life.
Is there anything keeping you from being closer?
No, because I'm always working every day. I think every day of my life, I'm working towards my goal. And that goal is to be successful.
Is there anything keeping you from being closer with your family?
I don't think there's nothing keeping me from being closer with my family. I just feel that every day within my family unit, we still build and bond relationships. I feel like every day is another successful day to adding on to what we have.
Please also describe the other family members through your own eyes.
Describing my other family members through my own eyes. My daughter Brianna. Actually, what I love about her the most is that since she became a lesbian, I think it took me to really kind of, poke at her about that because they always say a mother intuition, she knows. I knew she was probably going to be bisexual or lesbian at the age of maybe 12. I started noticing that about her. And when I tried to open up that door to talk to her about it, she kind of shied away a little bit. But the more I kept poking at it, she started to relax more and, started coming around more because I wanted to let her know that it's okay. Your mother is a lesbian, so there's nothing to be shy of or shy away from even having that conversation with me. So as far as Brianna is concerned, what really sparks me about her that really lightens my heart is that she is definitely true to who she is. She don't care about what nobody think about her lifestyle. She's very open, a very open young lesbian at her high school, and she wears boy clothing, and she don't care what anybody has to say about her and her lifestyle. So for her, I love that she pretty much is into herself, and she is who she is, and she's not trying to change for no one. So I love that about Brianna. As far as my partner Trey, that baby, that's my baby. Very intelligent. I got an interview. You sit next, so I won't really go into details about, your stats. I'll let you do that. However, you're very intelligent. I love everything about you. You complete me totally. You make me laugh. You're a comedian. You are a comedian. You think you could do actually a comedy act, but I don't think so. But you are a comedian. You keep me on my toes. You always compliment me. You always nurturing, taking care of me. You love to feed me. You love to cook for me. You love to wine and dine me. So you do all the things that any woman would want from their partner. And I love that.
What bothers you about your family members? What do you fight about? What makes you scream? What grosses you out? What do you laugh about? Come on, spill the beans. Give it to us.
I have no problem spilling beans because I wear my life on my sleeve. About my daughter, what bothers me the most with her is her drive. I have to push her a lot more than I want to because I expect for her to do that at such a young age. She's 17. So I expect for her to already have that gung-ho drive about things that she wants in life and things she wants to accomplish. But it's like I have to give her that extra nudge to make her go get it. And I hate that I have to do that for her. Other than that, her chores, I'm a very clean individual. And I just want her to be a little bit more clean when it comes to, keeping her room clean, keeping the bathroom clean. Because things like that disgust me in my house. And that irritates the living crap out of me when I have to get on her about her chores and her room. But what makes me win now is because she's driving. She's actually driving. She's off restriction permit or whatever they call it. And she's on her regular license, so I can use that against her now, which is a great thing. So if she don't do those chores, and if she don't do things I tell her to do, she will not be driving my truck.
What do you laugh about?
I didn't talk about you. Did I talk about you?
Oh, sorry. No.
Go back
What
to
do you
that
fight
question.
about? What do you scream?
What I fight about?
And what grosses you out?
What I fight about with my baby. What I fight about with Trey, my baby, is... Oof. I also have to push Trey to believe that everything is possible. Because if it weren't for me, my baby would not have that drive. And I do think I give him that extra push also to push him into the right directions as far as his life and career is concerned. That you can have anything in life that you want. The sky's the limit. So I'm like push behind Trey. And I hate that I have to do that because you should see it. Because you actually have the capabilities and the talents and the skills and everything to go get it. It's just, I hate I have to push you when it comes to that. We don't have to ever settle. And I think you do settle a lot. And I just like to push. I hate I have to push. I do.
What do you laugh about?
With who?
Your family members.
What do I laugh about with my family members? Oh, we laugh about some of everything. We're good at some of, like, we love watching reality TV. We get a lot of jokes and laughs off laughing at these people on reality shows because I live for them. We do a lot of little pranks in the house. Brie thinks she can dance and can't dance a lick. So I'm always laughing at my daughter trying to dance. She have no dance skills at all. Trey, like I said, is the comedian in the house. My baby makes me laugh off little things. He really swears he's a comedic act. So we definitely get our crunches in on our stomach because of the comedy that goes around in the household. Besides that, everything else is pretty much all good.
When did you know you were gay? Did you always know?
When did I know I was gay and did I always know? Yes, I've always known I was gay. I think when I was a little girl, I used to look at certain teachers or just certain ladies that walked by in passing. And my thing was I was always looking at their shapes and their figures like, wow, she's pretty or she got a nice shape. I never knew why I was looking at these individuals. I just knew that I was very attracted to a woman's body and her pretty face. So yes, I think I always knew I was a lesbian. I always knew I was going to eventually be a lesbian. Was another part to that?
It was just, when did you know you were gay and did you always know?
Okay, so yeah, I was very young. I would say that. Very young. I can take it back to probably elementary school.
What was your situation like before you came out?
What was my situation like before I came out? Wow, that's a good one. Well, because I came out, during the time that someone brought it out of me, I was about 14. So back then, it was pretty much hush hush in the closet. So for me back then, it was always, I had a boyfriend and I had a girlfriend. And more or less, I had the boyfriend because that was the cover up for me having the girlfriend. I never wanted to get caught with just a girl all the time. So I'd always have a boyfriend. And people would think that my girlfriend was actually my best friend. That's the word we used back then. This is my best friend. Even though she looked like a tomboy, I would always say, this is my best friend. I would never say this is my girlfriend because society wasn't accepting the lifestyle like they are today. So back then, yeah, I was pretty much in the closet, but I knew what I was and I knew what I wanted to be. But I was considered bisexual because I always had a boyfriend on the forefront to kind of take some light away from me having a girlfriend.
What is your current relationship status?
My current relationship status, you see that smile on my face? My current relationship status is that I'm engaged to Trey Gooding. We've been together we've been together 3 years. 3 years. And by the time we get married, it'll be 4. We're getting married, like I said, next year, June 23rd. Our engagement party is this month coming up. June 18th. We have an engagement party. So my relationship is actually fantabulous. That's my word. Yes, it is.
Were you in any previous relationships? What is that dynamic like compared to your current relationship?
That was a very good question. Lord be with me. Okay. Yes, I was in a previous relationship of 14 years. And the dynamics of that was absolutely horrible compared to what I'm in now. Out of the 14 years that I was with my ex-partner, she pretty much met me when my daughter was 2.5 months and my son was 8 years old. And I think I pretty much got into a comfort zone in that relationship because she started to help me raise my children. And it was like just a family unit for me. And that's just really what I always wanted. She was bad for me. I should have left in year 1. I lasted 14. And I think Trey was heaven sent because he pulled me out of that hellhole and brought me to where I should have been a long time ago. But I think everything happens for a reason. And I went through some very trying, horrible times in that relationship. But I'm a very strong woman, so I overpowered that and look where I am today. I'm in a very good place.
What was the turning point when you came to terms with your sexuality?
The turning point when I came to terms with my sexuality was I'm free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Because it took me at age 21 to tell my mother. And my mom and I are like the best of friends. And I don't know what took me so long to tell her. I used to always just use the excuse that these were my best friends. And she kind of always knew that these were girls that I liked or was dating. So with that being said, when I finally told her at the age of 21, she told me, baby, I already knew. So let's go to dinner and talk about it. Nope, she said, I already knew. I was waiting for you to tell me. So I said, let's go to dinner so I can tell you all about it. So pretty much my turning point was the relief of that big brick off my chest that I can be who I wanted to be and be happy in my lifestyle. And my mom was very, very accepting of that. She really accepted me with open arms. Nothing changed about her and I's relationship. So that was great.
What made you decide to come out? When and how did you come out?
Well, I came out because the person that I was with for those 14 years pretty much gave me an ultimatum that they didn't want me to date guys anymore. And I knew if I stopped dating guys, eventually everybody would know that I'm seeing a girl. So with that being said, I kind of think she was the breaker for me when I had to really just break that shell and come out and stop living a double life and just be really who I wanted to be, which was a lesbian.
When and how did you come out?
When I had to be, like I said, about 21, around the same time I told my mom. And how I came out pretty much was just, I stopped dating men totally. And people just in my neighborhood at the time, in my community, because I'm from Florida, and I'm very popular there because I was in the hair industry and had a very large clientele. They already knew. They just probably wanted to stamp the seal of approval that, yes, she is, because she's not dating guys anymore. So that was the turning point for me.
Did the coming out process affect your family? Please elaborate.
Did the coming out process affect my family? I think it did. Not my immediate family, but my extended family, which is my aunts. Because me and my family, we were really, really, really close. And they always wanted me to be the pretty niece that got married and had the kids and the picket fence and all that good stuff with a man. And when they found out that I was dating a woman and they knew it was really true, they shunned me just a little bit, but they kind of still had a sort of a relationship with me, but not the one I was familiar with. And I could tell the difference in the relationship that we had. So that kind of bothered me. And with that, I just pretty much walked away. And my thing is, if you don't accept me and who I'm with, then I'm good. You can keep it moving. I have no problem with that.
How did your kids react to having gay parents? Were they always comfortable with this knowledge? Has this been a difficult or easy process?
How did my kids feel with me having a gay parent? And were they comfortable with this knowledge? Because they were so young. Well, my baby was a baby. Brianna was 2.5 months when I had her. She was 2.5 months when I was into my real full committed relationship with a woman. My son was 8 years old and he knew that I was with a woman. He didn't like it, I guess because he really didn't like the person that I was with. It took about 5 years for her to grow on him, for him to accept that relationship pretty much as another parent figure in the house, because he was only used to me. I think that was a big effect. It took a toll on him because he knew well enough that his mom was dating a woman and he didn't really care for this woman. So But at this day and time, he's really acceptable of my life. He's very proud of who I am as a mother. He loved me to death. He's a very good son, very good father, very good husband, because he's the heterosexual one and my daughter is the lesbian one. And with Brianna, because she grew up to be who she is today, I don't think it affected her at all, because she is a lesbian, so it kind of fits right in for her.
How have their social lives been affected? Are they open with their feelings toward your sexuality?
How their social life been affected, and are they open? Most definitely, they're very open to my lifestyle. I think when my son was able to go into nightclubs, he was 21 or whatever. I actually took him to one of the shows with me to watch the shows, and mind you, he's a straight guy, and he was very comfortable with being in a gay club with me, so it didn't really bother him. Socially, he was able to mix and mingle with all my friends, and he never had a problem with being around my gay friends. Never. Even though some of the drag queens have tried to hit on him, and I used to tell him to back up off my baby, other than that, he's always been good. He just pretty much laugh it off. He brushes that off. He don't care.
Do you have any extended family, neighbors, best friends, or coworkers that have strong opinions of your sexuality or parenting techniques?
Do I have any best friends, coworkers, neighbors, extended family that would be offended? And by my parenting has been a gay parent?
That have strong opinions,
about my sexuality and my parenting
techniques.
Well, I will say yes for my extended family, but I don't know why, because I raised both of my children very well. Like I said, my son graduated from high school, had no children during high school. He went off to the military. He was in the Army, did his time. He's out of the Army now. He's living happily ever after in Seattle with his wife. And he's done very well for himself. So I think I did a very good job in raising my children. So the parental part of it, I don't understand why they would have a problem, because some of my extended family have issues with their children to this day, and I didn't have any with my son. As it relates to my daughter, I hope people don't look at the part of Brianna being a lesbian and take it as if, oh, wow, she was raised up in a lesbian household, because you got to remember I had two children. My son, heterosexual, my daughter, lesbian. So for kids who are raised up in a lesbian household does not mean they're going to be gay, because my son is so far from that. As far as best friends, co-workers, like I said, I can wear my life on my sleeve, and what you ask is what you get. So be careful what you ask, because you may hear something you really don't want to hear. So I try to take a little precaution about, sharing that at work. Now, if you inquire, if you figure it out, if you ask, I'm going to tell you. But if you don't ask, I just pretty much keep it to myself. As far as my friends, they're all, always been pretty much acceptive of my lifestyle. Never had any issues with it. As a matter of fact, I hate to say this, that some of them, because they know me as their friend, have been a lesbian for so many years and pretty much all my life, they've kind of tipped over in that water before just to see the experience of it, if it's something that was meant for them or do they like it. And that's the only thing I don't like about my friends that are supposed to be straight, that they try the lifestyle out just because their friend is, and they maybe like it or love it, whatever. But for me, it's not something that you try out. Either you are or you're not.
How do these opinions affect you? How do these opinions affect your children? How do they cope with it at school? Please elaborate.
How do these opinions affect me? How do they affect my children? How do they cope with this at school? Well, it's hard to offend me when it comes to my family. It's hard to offend me when it comes to my lifestyle, because I am who I am. I'm not trying to change who I am for anybody. I'm a very strong-minded individual. I'm a strong-minded woman. Pretty much like I said, if you ask, I'm going to tell. So be careful what you ask. I don't shy away from anything when it comes to my family, my lifestyle. And you don't have to be in my presence. You don't have to accept who I am or what I am if it's something that you're strongly against. I would respect that you stay away from my space, pretty much. For my kids, socially, in school, I've always noticed that, I guess, because I've been to their school functions and many of their school events, my son, his friends never really cared that he had a gay mom, because he would pretty much tell them that, my mom is gay. And his guy friend would still try to like, D, hook me up with your mom. And he was like, dude, go sit down somewhere. You know, you can't talk to my mom. So I kind of thought it was cute based on my kids socially and the schooling. And like my daughter said recently that she would tell people that, you know, my mom is gay. She had no problem saying it. So I don't think it bothered him, nor did it bother her to this day. So I'm good on that.
Has your family's unique situation gathered a lot of attention around town? Is this negative or positive attention? How has this attention affected your everyday routine?
Repeat the question.
Has your family's unique situation gathered a lot of attention around town? Is this negative or positive attention? How has this attention affected your everyday routine?
Okay, I'm going to sum it up in my own words. Has my family uniqueness gathered attention around town, and how has it affected my family?
How has it
affected?
Is it negative or positive attention?
Negative or positive attention?
How has this attention affected your everyday routine?
And how has it affected my everyday routine? I guess again because Atlanta is this little bug is going to drive me nuts. I guess because Atlanta is one of the gay meccas, it's positive. It's positive for me, and because I am a leader in the community, I ran and won several of the lesbian gay pageants. I judged several of the lesbian gay pageants. I'm very popular here. I'm very well known. I'm very well rounded. I've been like a mother figure to a lot of the young people in the gay community. A lot of people look up to me. So I really truly believe my uniqueness and my family has been a very positive outlook on me and my family. It's nothing different about us when it comes to the family unit. To me, really, it's the same as a heterosexual unit. As far as the community go, though, I guess some people are looking for that person they can look up to, or somebody can call that mother figure because they've lost that with their family because they came out of a closet or whatever. So for that aspect of it, it's very, very positive. I'm very influential on a lot of people in the community. I've nurtured a lot. I've raised a lot. And I pretty much help a lot of these young lesbian women get to the next level in their life, just pretty much based on my experience and where I've been and where I'm going. What was the last part of that?
How has this attention affected your everyday routine?
At first, it became overwhelming a little bit because I guess it was so much coming at me at one time. And I guess I love to help people out, especially those that are seeking for that attention and that help and that guidance. So for me, at first, it was a little bit overwhelming, but at one point I was able to juggle it as far as that and my career, my life, and my family goes. I was able to buckle down and juggle it so I can, still be there for others.
How do you think your children handle having gay parents? How do you think it affects them in their daily life?
How do I think my children handle having gay parents, and how do it affect them in their everyday life? It doesn't affect them at all. And how they handle it, my son has no problem telling anyone that he has a gay mother or a lesbian mom. He has never had an issue with that, and to this day, he's 25 years old and still don't have an issue. He'll go to bat for his mom, and he speaks up for his mom as well as my daughter. They really don't have a problem with the lifestyle that I live.
Can you recall a time your family has experienced any hardships? Have you overcome them? How has your family's unique situation inspired you to keep moving?
First part, have I had any experience with hardships in my family? Most definitely. Financially, the economy itself is, rumbled. So I think everybody in the economy pretty much is at a financial strain right now. So that will be our hardship for me, is financial. Because, anybody wants to just live peaceful and comfortable financially and have no issues when it comes to things they want in life or travel and don't have to budget. So the only hardship for me would be, I would say, financials.
Has your family's unique situation inspired you to keep moving?
Has my family unique situation inspired me to keep moving? Most definitely. because I reach for the stars and I aim for success. And my family uniqueness can take me and my family to the next level, because at this point, my baby and I do have a show called Trey and Tonya's Loveology, and it's pretty much reaching out not only to the gay community, but as well to the heterosexual community. And it's pretty much educating our viewers on just the lifestyle that we live, any questions that they may have, any advice that they may need. Because a lot of people sometimes can't talk within their own homes about problems or issues that arise. And you would be amazed at the type of questions that Trey and I receive as far as our show goes. And we launched this show in December, and we launched it because we were getting so many questions just from our normal everyday friends inquiring about, relationship problems or questions or issues that they were having. And we felt obliged to just really engage in these people's questions. And it was like, baby, let's just start our own show so people can read these. We can read these questions and the world can see what we're talking about, because a lot of people need to be educated really seriously when it comes to the lesbian community and the lifestyle that we choose to live. Because people that are not educated, they're more almost illiterate to the fact that we live the same exact way as male and female do raising children. It's no different at all.
What lessons do you try to teach? What lessons do you try to teach your children about homosexuality and acceptance?
What lessons do I try to teach my children about homosexuality and what?
And acceptance.
And acceptance. Those lessons are: remain true to yourself first. Don't alter your lifestyle for anyone. If you're happy in your skin and the lifestyle you choose to live, so be it. You should never alter who you are for no one, whether they like it or not. I teach my kids to be strong, independent, understanding, loving, caring, open-minded, and to accept people the way they are.
Are they receptive?
Most definitely. My kids are both receptive of the lifestyle I live and the lifestyle they live.
What would you like the world to know about raising a family while being a gay parent?
Is that the last question? No. That's a good one. Okay. What I would like the world to know about raising my family as a gay parent is, I say it all the time, and I've probably said it several times prior to this, is that we all should be treated equal. There should never be you should never be biased to the lesbian community. You should never be stereotypical when it comes to we should not be raising children, and we're going to mess the children's head and minds up, and your kid's going to end up being gay and they're going to be confused. That bothers the living crap out of me. And I almost cursed. That bothers the living crap out of me. And it does, because I guess I'm a prime example of a parent that raised two different type of children. I raised a daughter and a son at the same exact time. They're 8 years apart. However, they were raised in the same household with two women as parents. And my son grew up to be a military man, married to a woman with 3 children. And he's a great father. My daughter, she's an honor student, athletic, involved in her school. She has a drive. She's going to college. And she grew up to be a lesbian that really don't care about what anybody has to say about her lifestyle and how she chooses to look or dress. So for me, when it comes to that, I just really wish the world really would see everybody through one eye and stop judging, because there's only one judge at the end of the day, and that's the man up above. We should never judge a family based on who's raising them, because some kids are raised by single parents. Some kids are raised by heterosexual parents, and these kids are dead or in jail, on the corner, selling drugs, prostituting, stealing, robbing, killing, but they were raised by a male and a female. So just look at that picture and then look at my picture again. So again, none of us have room to judge at all when it comes to who raises the children in a household, really.
What is a day in the life like at your household?
What is a day in the life like in my household? Well, like I said, my baby loves to cook for me. So on our weekends, well, now he's out of school for the summer. So On our weekends, my baby like to get up and make my coffee, make my breakfast, bring it to me in bed. I love that. We get our cuddle time in. We can all sit on the couch as a family and watch good movies. We sit and just chat and talk about whatever happened the week before. Like I said, we've been talking about Brie and these different colleges she's interested in going to. A normal family routine. We wake up, we say good morning. That's a must in my house. When you see the person for the first time in the morning, you must say good morning. That's how we greet each other. My baby, he gets his kiss and his hugs, whether he's off to work or still in bed because it's summer here to be in bed. I have to go to work. As far as everything else, it's really pretty much a normal routine. On the weekends, I like my daughter to do her chores, keep the house in order. I'm probably the most cleanest one in the house when it comes to the cleanliness of the house. My baby can throw clothes around a little bit. My daughter, she kind of skip out on her chores sometimes. But other than that, we have a little puppy, Princess, our little Chihuahua. She's a spoiled, rotten brat. So other than that, we keep them. It's pretty much a normal family.
Can you recall a hilarious moment in the past year that had you all on the floor laughing?
Well, a hilarious moment that I can recall in last year that had us on the floor laughing. For me, one would be we did like a dare type thing, me and my baby, Trey and I. We were in our panties and probably t-shirts or wife beaters. And I said, would you run out to the mailbox in your underwear or something, I said. And my baby was like, if you do it, I'll do it. So we both did it. And at the time we were doing it, neighbors happened to be pushing a stroller or something across the little driveway. We had to zoom in the house. And I think that was the most hilarious moment because I would never run out the house in my panties to the mailbox. And I did it because it was a dare. So I think that was super hilarious for me.
What sets you apart from all the other families with gay parents? What are you most proud of?
What sets me apart from all the other families with gay parents, and what am I most proud of? What sets me apart? I think because I do know a lot of people in the community, I do believe that I'm a very well-rounded individual. I'm a very grounded mother because there are some people in the community that, I hate to say it, but don't raise their children. Their parents or the children's father is raising the children, and they're in their lesbian relationships, but they're not raising their own kids. So for me, that for me sets me apart from other gay families because I've always set my mind on I'm going to raise my children until they graduate from high school and go off to the military or college. And I've done that with my son, and my daughter has one more year, so I would definitely do that with her. And I just think that I like to see my children wake up to me in the morning. So for me, that sets me apart from a lot of other gay families because a lot of the other gay families don't raise their children. They have someone else raising their kids, and I just don't have an understanding for that. My child cannot be across the world being raised by someone else when I'm sitting here in Atlanta chilling. I don't understand that. What was the last part of that, babe?
What are you most proud of?
What I'm most proud of is where I am today in my life. I've overcome many obstacles. I can write a book and it'd be a #1 seller. A lot of trying times, a lot of bad times, very few good times, especially coming out of a 14-year relationship to being with the love of my life today. So I'm most proud of who I'm with and who the Lord brought into my life to complete me. And I do believe that as far as my family unit go, that we've gotten a lot more closer within the last 3 years. And we're growing. And I feel like we have so many more things to accomplish. And the sky will always be the limit for me and my baby. That's it.
State your name again.
This is Tonya Johnson. And I thank you.